working.
Hey, big boys. How are you tonight, sir?
But I
I'm
still
sorry.
gotta fix it. Huh?
I'm sorry I'm late. Just as I was walking into the office, my daughter called me and wanted
Oh
to give me an
no.
update on what's going on. So
Well,
Oh boy.
Well, look, we got kind of a Santa Claus convention going on here, don't we?
yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Little bit.
Mine's a little short right now because
Yeah,
of
you need
shade.
to catch up there.
Well,
You're
I
still in
shaved
the
I
most
was
mine.
shade,
like
huh?
here.
I shaved
I
most
get
of
too
mine
long.
back. So
Yeah, I just
Well, Dale's not
shaved it
allowed to
off.
grow one.
Right.
I keep mine trimmed down too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, mine come back totally white after the cancer stuff, and it's totally white now. So it's my head.
Mine went totally white after I raised three kids.
Well,
You
you
know.
really wouldn't know I had hair, but there's some of the quite a bit in the back. And,
Mine's been this color for 30 years now.
yeah, mine was like
Well,
salt and pepper when I was 40.
well, I
Oh,
got
mine was
one.
this color back then.
I got one little spot that grows down. It's dark right here. It makes me look like I got tobacco or something that are pouring out my mouth, but no, it's not. It's bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, at work we have a board that has all the employees' pictures on them, and
Yeah.
mine's 10+ years old. I actually had color on the sides when they took it. I just had the gray strip down the middle.
Well, you know what you gotta do? We're gonna send you out a can of black Rust-Oleum so you can look like Mr. Briggs.
Now I'll keep the white.
Yeah.
Hey, Tar Heel.
Oh boy, Mrs. beating up the stove again.
Oh,
No, don't do that.
Yeah,
hello, Miss Missy.
everybody saying hello, Missy.
Hello, Missy.
I'm missing.
Yeah, well, I was out at my friend's today. He took me around. We were deciding a spot where I could try out the plow, and I figured I'll bring out both tractors, see how they do. And then he started telling me they were out someplace, and he bought one of them cast iron Dutch oven things. And he started asking me about it. We went inside, and he pulled out a box, and I was showing him, told him how you season it. I said, the only, what they tell you, you got to do it twice with the new ones because it's like they're not a real fine grain like they used to be. They're kind of a coarse grain, and until you get that seasoned in good, stuff's gonna still stick to it.
Yeah, hey Ben. Oh,
John
Schroeder. How are y'all tonight?
I was all set on buying a big cast iron fry pan until I talked to a couple buddies of mine, and the one broke his glass top stove, just having it sitting on it with cooking on it. And another one, no matter how careful they were, they scratched the shit out of the top of their stove. So yep, I won't be having one.
Wow.
I haven't had that problem yet.
We have a gas stove still.
Yeah,
that's what we do up here. Everybody gas.
Yeah.
I don't know where you live. I did see a thing about cast iron. But if you can, buy a Lodge. LOGGE. They're made in the USA.
That's the best way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a perfect fleet. At least here
I
they
was
do.
showing them too. I seen on YouTube a couple of people took like the new Lodges, and they take the the little 3M wheels, and they just go around them and polish them down till they're perfectly smooth.
Yeah.
And then they season them.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I remember that guy. Yeah.
That was probably you, huh?
Well, well, if the Lisa will quit breaking them on my head, I'd be all right.
Yeah.
All my cast iron is old. Put it that way. Old.
I had a nice one. She washed it with soap.
She broke so many of them on my noggin that she finally figured out there wasn't use in destroying all the all the cast iron she had. So.
Right.
And she has been known to send other wives cast iron frying pans, so just so
Yeah.
they can take care of their old men. So I mean,
That's why I'm glad I don't have an old lady.
Hey guys, I gotta jump out of here.
Okay.
well, I appreciate
Missy,
you coming by there. Dave.
Missy hollered soup's on, which is not soup. It's pork
Well, you don't
chops
want this
and
dinner, huh?
pork chops and rice and gravy and some leftover
Oh, go
lima
ahead, rub
beans
it in.
and some fresh
Go
corn
ahead,
that we
rub it in.
grew. Yeah, out of the garden. So,
Oh man.
that sweet corn is awesome.
Fresh corn already? Yeah.
I got
No,
I got
last year.
I got to show them off every week. I got to show them off.
Yeah.
What is that you
All
got
right.
in your hand?
Insulin pens.
His pins, yeah. Every time I talk about food, Cajun food, he breaks out the pins. Two of them. Not one, but two.
Yeah.
Well,
His
you know what
blood
I do? You
sugar
got to hold up a
raises
head of
up.
lettuce.
His blood sugar just rises hearing me talk.
Yeah.
Not just me, other people also. Not
Yeah.
just me.
All right. While we're
All right.
talking about food, what's the
All right,
prayer cooking
everybody.
this week?
Y'all know the deal. It's good being north of the grass. Be safe.
Yeah.
Stay that way. Stay safe and be that way. And as always, love,
Love,
peace, and crackling grease. Catch y'all later.
Okay.
later.
So yeah.
Yeah. Later. Yeah. All right. What's cooking with the bear this week? So we can
Yeah.
so I know how much to give myself.
Well, tonight's dinner, I just fried up a couple eggs, made fried egg sandwiches.
Fried egg, huh?
Yeah, I love those. Yeah.
Fried
Fried
egg on
potatoes
fried
and
egg.
eggs on top. Oh, yeah.
I didn't have any potatoes or anything left. I just had some eggs and bread, and
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
keep
feel
telling
like
her every time she goes to the grocery store, buy 10 gallon, not 10 pounds, not 5. Make sure they're fresh. You know.
What was that video you put up today, Ed?
just a short.
No.
It's a
I've seen it. I went on it, but it never played.
Oh.
Of course, I was sitting right here next to the computer, so that probably had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Because I figured out the wireless fucks up my phone when I'm on it.
Oh.
Yeah, but Jeff, them kind of Ed might have put that in private for some lady up there in Ohio.
Oh.
no, I didn't. It wasn't private. It was just our athletics department takes care of the athletic fields. They need to mow for a track meet, and
Oh.
they called me Thursday about 5:30 at night and said they couldn't get their mower started to mow or to bring it down for me to service it so they could mow. And so I had to go up this morning and see what was going on, and the fuel tank was empty. Well, it has twin tanks.
Oh, geez.
One tank had a quarter tank, the other tank was empty. They were on the empty tank and cranked the thing enough that it almost killed the battery. So
Oh, geez.
I flipped the little thing over, put my jump pack on it, and it fired like right up.
Yeah.
Well,
That reminds
And
me
the
of
worst
that
part
movie.
is these people stand there and they don't even feel stupid about it, huh?
yeah.
Well, what it is every year they have athletes that work for them, but they never train them.
Oh.
They just say, do you know how to run a tractor? Oh yeah, okay, and that's their training. They go out and start it and figure it out themselves.
Yeah.
So, but he got
Reminds
the
me
car.
of that movie, Sling Blade.
Yeah.
Is there gas in
Well,
it?
when you was a little kid, you didn't have somebody sit there and spend an hour showing you how to run a tractor, did you?
No.
But they just basically don't even show them how to start it. They just say, there it is.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, backwoods. Yeah, they've got the other channels that we can have now. So everybody's kind of jumping onto them. So
Mm.
that's yeah. But I can see since I'm hosting, I can see everybody that's on here. So
Oh, my cable company sent us a new router and Wi-Fi tower. No, I can't get on Twitch. They want me to prove on me. Goodbye. I'm not coming back. I
Yeah.
sent them everything that I thought they needed. Then they wanted more.
We
Yeah.
went through that back in the summertime. So
Yeah. I understand why they do that. It's, there's so many
yeah,
weirdos out there now.
yeah. But the thing about it is I finally got my router router to where I could get it into my shop. Now I can't get now again. I'm back down to where I can't get it into the shop no more.
Wow. Yeah.
So I'm had to do some changing up to get the Wi-Fi signal back to the shop out there.
Yeah. I think this new router was because we're on 6G now.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that means. It's really fast, though. I know that.
yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Hello, Sarah.
The tower looks like an airway. It's bigger, though. A different color. Yeah. I was fine with the old one.
Yeah, that's. I reckon I'm gonna have to get up to speed on all this stuff, on this doggone new technology.
Mm.
I don't. I went.
My brother, when I was at my mom's, he got a Wi-Fi booster. Oh, yeah. Ken just sent me a message.
Okay,
Bad
continue
stuff
on. I'm
headed
back.
away.
It was. I don't know if I can keep up with the technology or not
Yeah.
anymore. But as long as I can still get on here to look at a few videos or whatever else, that's about all I do with it. So.
Yeah. I'm still running the one that's cobbled together. My PC tower. I had a really good motherboard, a game on it and everything, and then let go.
That's kind of what mine. I've had problems with. I hope y'all can hear me all right, because I'm going through one of these here miniature speakers compared because I keep losing my volume at times. So
Oh, that's a StreamYard thing.
yeah, so hopefully
I
it'll,
think.
So
But,
far, so good. I can hear you.
Yeah.
hopefully it's not picking up too much background noise or anything.
No, I don't hear
Huh?
nothing other than you.
Huh?
Huh? Yeah. I am deaf.
Well,
Yeah.
I
was watching a weather guy earlier on here, and goes, "Can everybody hear me?" At the beginning,
Nope.
Like, yeah, I got everything on 110%.
Yeah. Well,
Because I am partly deaf.
Well, like I said, I don't know whether we're supposed to get just storms all day tomorrow or if it's just gonna be wind. But
Where are you at?
I'm in Virginia in the mountains.
Oh, it's headed your way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah. I think
Yeah, have you ever been to one of them little garden tractor plows?
One of the plow days? No. I want to go to one, but I've never been to one. No.
I got watching the video. I got to figure out. I know I got the the angle spacing right and stuff. Well, this plow's already set, but I'm trying to figure out. I seen they have measurements for like the cubs and the wheel horses off the inside of the wheel. So I'm trying to figure. Obviously, I'm gonna have to slide my plow over. Otherwise, I'm gonna end up with a screwed up row in every round.
Yeah, they want everybody's furrows to be the same so that everybody's tracking the same. If they get somebody in there that makes too wide a one, then it throws everybody else off, and they they can't make a good
Yeah.
pass.
Oh,
Yeah.
pulling.
Mhm.
Their wheels are too wide, too narrow.
That's why I figured, I'm gonna see if I can find that and get an idea. And when I take this thing out there, hopefully in a nice dry day, and I run it, he got a big spot there, probably almost an acre. He said, we'll do this field over here." He said, "Because I got rye in it, and Mom might grow tomatoes in it, so we could roll it over and stuff."
Oh, little Joe.
Yeah. I grow all my stuff in buckets. You know why? So I don't have to bend over and get on my knees. I can't get back up.
Well-
I'm not kidding.
Well, it don't matter what. I can't grow anything anyway because of damn deer eat everything we planted. out
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
there. Except for the doggone grass, they'll let it keep going. But,
Uh-huh.
man, but I guess I'm gonna have to do it. If we get another dog, I guess we might have to surprise them deer. Might have to put me a electric fence around the yard till we get the dog trained on staying in the yard. So,
Yeah.
uh,
That's
I,
not a
I've
problem
been
with you,
keeping
huh?
up on Facebook. I'm sorry about that.
yeah, it's just
We lost ours too. Our little Jack Russell. He was sick for about 2 years. We thought we'd get better, and then he just got sick again.
yeah. They just and you can't and puppies right now is it's not really good time to be looking for a puppy. So,
No.
but I won't one to train. I like the one that's young enough that I can still train. I mean,
Right.
and that's the ones that's hard to find. I mean,
Right.
once they get a year or two old, they're a real pain in the butt to try to train. So,
Right.
Well, right now it's a time where you gotta find an Easter bunny, not a dog.
well, I want a dog to chase these daggone bunnies out my yard too. They
Uh-huh.
get they eating Delisa's other plants that the ones the deer don't get. They second chance more.
I second chance.
So
I'm hoping rabbits come back this year over here. They were here last summer, but I don't know if the little babies ever made it.
well, yeah, I mean, we got the security cameras, and I can see them still running through the yard every now and then.
Well, they were under the shed, and Sammy knows it, but she won't really mess with them.
Yeah,
But the shed is like right next to the fence, and we know the neighbor puts out rat poison and stuff all around the back.
Yeah.
well, that's what we got here is a daggone.
This is
Neighbor.
the guy we have left, though. You can see
We
that little Sheltie
Yeah,
collie. Looks like Lassie.
yeah.
He's 60 pounds, though. It's big for a Sheltie.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
They don't
He's
look that.
fat.
He was-
No, that's the picture she took before he got big, He's a little rounder now.
Well, he's not much smaller than Lassie. So
Yeah. He's pretty big, height wise, so like, about the
Yeah.
size of a Lassie even. Her cousin out in Wyoming actually had a collies that were in the Collie magazine, Show Dog magazine. They're actually show dogs, and they were bigger than this guy, big time.
mhm.
I don't know if she's still around, but she had some really cool names, though. Of course, it's a
Yeah.
high altitude,
Why? I mean, my grandma and granddaddy used to raise collies, so I know the collies well.
Oh, yeah. He likes to bark, I'll tell you that, this one.
Yeah,
Are you watching these comments, Ed?
Some of them,
It's
yeah.
almost like the guys are lost commenting back and forth to each other, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like it.
Well, I posted the link to Daryl's stream in my
Oh,
what I'm doing, so that when people come into mine, they
Yeah.
can click on and come over here.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate
Hey,
it.
Mobile.
I appreciate everybody showing up.
mhm.
I definitely need some watch time. This every way I've been doing lately, I've gotten down to where I ain't just like that. Nobody's even showing up on Friday night, so I appreciate
Thank you.
everybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you a
Hey.
bill for this next week.
All right,
Yeah.
Jim. Well, I'll put it in the hat, and I'm gonna tell you, most bills they don't get paid every month, so
Mm. Yeah.
so the hat just gets fuller and fuller.
Uh-oh. I'll move myself.
Danger, Will Robertson, danger!
Yeah, I thought Mike had lived next door to the fire department. The way that's ring.
I left the kitchen to pick up my coffee, and everything, to come in here and sit down at the computer, and my phone rang, and at first I thought it was one of them robocaller, things. I decided, well, I'll put it on and go check it, and it happened to be my daughter. So,
Is she doing okay now?
no, not really.
Oh boy.
Oh gosh.
Her heart rate at one point in time today was at 210 beats a minute.
Holy shit! Is she still alive?
Yeah. She went and had an endoscope done, and they found out that where they did her bypass in her stomach has a ulcer around it, and then where they reattached the small intestine to the stomach has an ulcer, and 5 inches down into her small intestine is all ulcered.
Oh
boy.
That's why she can't eat it. That's why she can't eat any solid foods. And
I gotta go. We gotta turn in a warning.
All right.
Uh-oh. Okay, Mikey,
Be
see you
careful.
later.
You might miss us. Then.
Yeah.
But that's why she can't do anything but have liquids without throwing it up. So
So she's got one of them things stuck in her nose right now,
yes, she still has a feeding tube.
huh? Oh God. Ugh. That was just miserable. I remember that.
But she talked to the doctor like an hour ago, called him and told him about her heartbeat, and he's like, yeah, you need to go to the ER. And she's like, okay. And she wanted to make some phone calls before she left, because it's back down now. It shoots up for a little bit and then drops back down.
Does that mean they got to go back in and operate it?
She don't know yet. They haven't. She hasn't talked to it. She's seen her records. You can go online and see test results and stuff. She had it done earlier this week.
Hey, Lucianne.
She had it done earlier this week, and the results haven't went through the doctor yet, so she hasn't heard from them. Hi, Miss Lisa.
Yeah. It's just you never know what you're gonna find out from a doggone doctor.
Right. Well, and with her track record, all they're gonna do at the hospital is, oh well, your heart rate's back down to normal now, so there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, that's the sad part about it.
Yep.
That's what my heart used to do years ago. It used to just take off and go nuts.
Yep.
And I know when I was in New York, the one doctor, he wanted to bring me down and do some kind of test or something to see if they could figure out why it was doing that. And other doctors like, no, he's fine. Just leave it be.
Well, she she's more concerned about her stomach and stuff than she is her heart rate, and that. Because she's thinking what she's thinking is it's malnutrition because she's not getting enough, calories and stuff. That's why it's messing with all that. And but what she's worried about is her stomach's so small now because they already went in and took one ulcer out of it after the original surgery. What she's afraid of is they're going to have to actually take the whole thing out and basically tie her small intestine to her esophagus.
Wow. But
And hope it don't ulcer again.
yeah.
What
Yeah.
do you want? What do you want?
Delisa's sister, something like that. She's lost down. I think last time I seen her, she looked like she's about 70 pounds, soaking wet.
Yeah.
But
I haven't. I mean, my daughter. I mean, basically, she sleeps all the time now, so I haven't actually got to physically see her in probably what is this, April now? Probably 4 months. And my ex-wife said that she's like lost even more weight than when I seen her then. So
wow. We'll keep her in thoughts and prayers.
I appreciate it.
So, what did you have a busy week this week, or?
Oh yeah, things are starting to change over for spring. So
Around here, I don't know about up there where y'all at, but they must be already changing over to the summertime gas because doggone gas prices ain't jumped 20 cents in the last week. So
ours jumped almost 60 cents.
holy cow!
Yeah, it was two something, like 2.89 or something like that, and then it was 3.49 whenever I come home from work today.
And ours today, I went through town and it was 3.49, and I was down here too. So.
Thank you, Breezy. Well, I mean, we got to pay it, so there ain't nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, they figure you got at least run the daggum lawnmowers. But the thing about it is, every time I turn the computer on now, it's people with the people with these daggum electric cars, and daggum electric cars is catching on fire and they can't put them out.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can't to get the dog on fire and you can't get it put out, then what good is it? I mean, our electric bill went up just about $100. So.
Well, our admissions department just bought a 6-passenger gas golf cart last fall, right before winter. I got a recall notice on that particular line of golf carts, and not the gas ones, but there's two versions of the electric.
Yeah.
They're saying to pull the fuse and disconnect, because there's a charging port with the USB connectors for like your cell phone or whatever.
Yeah.
They're suggesting that you pull the fuse of that, and if you don't pull the fuse or can't pull the fuse, do not charge it or park it inside.
Holy cow!
Where's
the real benefit into electric cars?
Well, it's that little USB charging port's the problem. It's some cheap, Chinese one, I'm assuming. And what it is when you plug like your cell phone or something into it, it gets hot. And it actually starts melting the holder and around the thing that's mounted into the plastic dashboard. So
When when that lithium catches on fire, they can't put it out. It don't
no,
seem.
no,
Yeah, it seems like they just got to let it burn out. So
right. But it only happens with the gas ones if you have something plugged into it. The electric ones, for some reason, I guess they draw power through it or something. I don't know. Um, they're saying don't have them hooked up, because I called about the recall. I'm like, well, should I? It doesn't say anything about the gas ones. Do I need to pull the fuse? She's like, no, you don't need to pull the fuse or anything on it, but don't use the charger. I'm like, okay. I said, I'll go disconnect it. Which I went out and pulled the fuse on the thing. But yeah, they're actually sending a field tech out to change this thing out. And what they're doing is they're putting a new charging port in it and a metal bung. They have to cut the dash bigger,
yeah,
and they're putting a new charging port and a metal bung in it to, isolate it. So
Yeah.
because my first question to her was, does this have to come back to you? Because if so, I'm not paying for transportation because I ain't got a trailer big enough to haul this thing, So, if you all were, if you all want me to bring it back up there, sorry, it ain't gonna happen. You're gonna have to haul it up there and back for free. She's like, oh no. She goes, we have too many of them carts out there to have everybody bring them back. We're sending a field tech out, and they're like, they're trying to get ones like in groups area. They're supposed to be at my shop on the 4th, I think it is 4th or 5th, to do mine. So
yeah, there's
Smokes, that's crazy.
yeah, it is. And Lisa Ann back at over $5 a gallon out there again.
Where's she at? California?
yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, that's why.
but Jeff, up there where you at, they don't even let you pump gas up there, do you? Dude?
I do, whether they like it or not. I was doing it when I was a kid. Why can't I do it now?
Yeah, I was fixing
You
to say.
just sit there and wait 15 minutes for some circus clown that's just going to sit like this with his credit card out the window.
Yeah, I remember going up to Jersey and sitting there seeing the attendant still out standing out at them gas tank at the gas side. I mean, you can still pump diesel for the truck, so I didn't know.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Nobody will pump diesel except for the driver.
Yeah,
But it's a state law. You can't pump your own gas here. Where is that going?
yeah. Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen, and yeah, you might need to be a little careful again up there in your part of the world, because telling they said they're supposed to indict Trump again this week, so
Uh-huh.
they allow some of them idiots, some of these daggum all kinds of idiots allowed to be throwing stuff off of bridges and everything else up there. So
well, but the thing
I
about
was
it is,
watching. It's been on the news all day about it.
yeah, but the charges that they're bringing him up on, even if he is convicted, does not affect him running for president.
Yeah, it don't make no sense. I mean,
All they're doing is bringing him back into the limelight, you know, and that there's no way to, with what I've seen on the news and everything, they can't even prove that the money came from him. The money came from his company, who paid his lawyer. All his lawyer has to do is say, "Yeah, I did it," but they didn't tell me to.
well,
The money just happened to be, my fee. They're paying me. I did this on my own fruition, so I'll take the hit for it. Mr. Trump had nothing to do with it. His company had nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
I'm on retainer.
The thing that gets me the most, this has already been done. through the courts. She's already signed a paper saying that this never happened. Trump was already showed innocent, and
Yeah.
it's past this, way past the statute of limitations. So how can you even bring this back open?
I mean, they've been trying to get that man since day one, and they can't. They have no, they have not made one thing stick. So, I mean, why did they keep even trying? I mean, this is for the state of New York. This ain't federal. So in other words, they just want that picture, I guess, with Trump in handcuffs. That's all the daggum news media wants. And
But
I don't really think they'll get it.
well, in like the one news station there was talking. This is the first time that either a president or post president has ever been charged, and arrested or indicted.
Uh-huh.
They're making him famous.
Yeah, yeah. He'll be when he dies, he'll be a martyr. I mean,
Yeah,
Well,
if you hate if you hate him that bad, then forget about him. Let him drift off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Quit bringing him back into the limelight. You're just promoting him.
well,
I was watching a couple of like that. I guess that Fox News this morning, and they had his lawyer on there, and his lawyer's like, "We never knew this was coming. The last we understood, they said that the grand jury would be out for a couple of weeks." He says, "All of a sudden, they hit us with this last night."
well,
But
it's just like with the raid on Mar-a-Lago. He's that certain records a president is allowed to keep, even if they were, private security messages and all that stuff. He's allowed to see them. So
like the one news outlet was saying that even though he's indicted and they want to put him in the jail, he can get out on bail or bond. That it won't go to trial until after the elections, and they can't do anything about it. They can't bring him in to hold him for trial until he's done with being a president again.
yeah, I mean, so it is getting wild out there. I guess. I mean, they're trying to. I don't know what these idiots are trying to do, but
They're
Well,
just
like his lawyer said this morning, I was watching, and he ended it with flat out just coming out on that news thing and said American people need to snap up and pay attention because this is the biggest sign of the American justice system going out the door. We're out of the house. We're done. It's a free for all with the Democrats now. They're going to change things, do whatever they want, twist things around to go for who they want, whatever reason they want, and however they can do it.
well, I mean, it's just like, hey, Roadrunner, but I mean, they got a laptop with all this other stuff with our current president, with all kinds of bad stuff on him, but nobody's friggin' investigating that shit.
Well, that's like Hillary. Same thing. Hillary,
So,
Biden's kid. Everybody knows that's like a plain out fact of how much they're tied in with China and everything, but nothing's coming of it.
well, a friend of mine who she absolutely hates Trump keeps posting these news articles and everything else about it. And I private messaged her and said, if you hate him so much, don't give him the credit. Don't give him the limelight. Let him fade away. But he has to be brought to justice. You're just keeping people, riled up, and the more and more that you post this stuff, his supporters are just going to get more and more, roused up and, want to vote for him even more. You're making him significant by doing this. If you didn't do it, then, he would just, fade away like, any other ex-president.
Yeah, I mean, and besides that, what is 190,000 or something else? What is that to a billionaire?
150 or something.
I mean,
Yeah,
that ain't no money for a billionaire to start with.
150 some $1,000. I mean, that's that's pocket change to him.
Yeah, I mean,
He
they
loses.
can't
He
prove
loses.
that where that money come from. They can't prove it whether it come out of his regular account or whether they said he was using his campaign finance funds to do it. Well, how you gonna prove he didn't pull it out of his damn pocket and pay her off? I mean,
As far as I know, that his campaign finances were out of his
yeah,
pocket.
yeah.
So you
So
know,
where I mean, you go back. I mean, it's I mean, why in the hell would somebody would got to go through all this damn amount of scrutiny anymore to be to run for office, even run for damn dog catcher? You got to go through that so much damn scrutiny. Why? I mean, if you wasn't a crook and good at hiding shit, you wouldn't be elected. You couldn't be elected dog catcher. So I mean,
Well, I like his lawyer said. He says the biggest thing that concerns me is where did they come up with 32 or 34 counts of whatever he did? He says I don't know where 33 of them come from. This was all originally one count. How did they come up with 33 more?
you know, I mean, now they're trying to bring up a back something back in the early 2000s. Something about he had an affair with a Playboy model. I mean, my God, he's a damn billionaire. You don't think the Playboy bunnies wouldn't be going after somebody like that too? I mean,
Well, geez, you got Sniffling Joe. He goes around trying to catch little kids. Nobody says nothing about that, huh?
no, somebody they they got all kinds of sniffing on kids. I mean, but I mean they got Biden sitting there on a videotape showing him telling Ukraine that if you want the if you want this $1 billion, you better fire this daggone prosecutor that's after my son on videotape with him actually sitting there saying it. And some of a bitch, they hour later he was gone. So I mean, if that's not a flat out strong arm tactic of the damn media / mafia, I mean, what else could it be? I mean,
Well,
but
that's like Biden's kid, this whole time. Oh, it's not my computer. It's not my computer. It's misinformation. All of a sudden, a couple weeks ago, he turned around and now he's trying to. He wanted to put this big lawsuit against the guy that fixed his computer about spending about this and that and showing the records of what was on his computer. It's like you just got done saying it wasn't yours. Now all of a sudden you're going to sue this guy.
yeah, well, we better stay on Trump because if we say anything much about Biden, they'll be put another another warning sign on me again. So. We can talk all the trash we want to about with the media sensations about talking junk about Trump, but the algorithm, the bots, or whatever else.
right.
I mean, but
I don't know. I just start to think. I think we're just getting into something that's going to turn real ugly for the whole country pretty quick.
yep. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
well, I mean the last election, whether it was stolen or not, okay, that means it's basically a 50-50 country. Regardless of any way you want to look at it, it's a 50-50 country. And are we gonna? Is it going? Is it going to end up one day being kind of like the 1800s? the Civil War thing type thing. I mean, it's just it don't. I don't
I don't think
understand
it
it.
will.
No,
I think
it
there's
won't.
too many puppets out there. They're just going to follow the lead.
I mean, there. I mean, what did he win? I mean, Trump actually won what 30 some states compared to Biden 2 or 3 states. I mean, but I mean, it's all confusing to me. I mean,
Well, to me, it was kind of obvious because when they were doing the count, it seemed funny. It was like in the middle of the night, all of a sudden, Biden's counts would jump up a couple 100,000 at a time.
Yeah.
Within like a half hour or so.
Yeah. But, oh well, we better not. These are
But anyways,
these are touchy subjects. We're liable to all get warning signs on it. But no, it wasn't. It wasn't mainly north and south. It was mostly the northeast coast and the west coast is basically what it amounts to, Tommy.
yeah.
It wasn't north and south this time. But
So I found a garden plow over here by me. It was listed today. Guy has a bunch of Power King parts.
good
And
deal.
I messaged him. I asked him how much for a plow, and he said $100. And then I said, "Is it a 3-pointer or a sleeve hitch?" He sent sleeve hitch. And then I said, "Where is it?" And he told me Hyde Park. I was like, "Well, that ain't that far." Until I went on Google Maps and I looked. It's like, no, I'm not going that far.
Yeah.
I don't get on Marketplace because it's a really bad place for me.
What are you trying to say?
But I did get on there last night and was like nosing around because I love my little rear engine snapper tractor. I was just seeing if there's any more out there or whatever. I found if it wasn't almost an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes away, I would have it. It's one of the original Yardman Love Bugs. It looks like a flat deck tractor with a seat and a motor on it, but on behind the seat, there's a big area where like the grass catcher is supposed to sit, but it has an area for like you could put like a cargo thing on it. I'm thinking, dude, that would be awesome for at the tractor pulls. They only want $100 for it and it runs, but it's almost an hour and 45 minutes away. And I'm like, oh man,
Well,
if it was a half hour, 45 minutes away, it'd be sitting in my driveway tonight.
well, I was looking at that pet finder thing, about the dogs and all in animal shelters around here, within thought I was looking within 100 miles. All of a sudden there pops up a thing for Pulaski County, and of course I clicked on it, and I'm sitting here and I'm finding all kinds of dogs that would be perfect for us, and then I realized, looked a little bit harder, and I realized that it was Pulaski County, Arkansas.
Oops.
I said, I mean,
you don't got that kind of money, Ed.
In other words, I ain't gonna drive no damn 10 hours or 15 hours to get out there for a puppy. If it,
but
I mean, we were, because nowadays you got to get a dog. You just about got to fill out a daggum application, and you got to prove you got all kinds of stuff and everything else to be able to take care of a dog. And that is just way out. I mean, then they put you on a list, and then you got to put the animal's name you find on Pet Finder. Then you call the next day to ask them, well, how's things going with our application? Oh, you're about number 15th in line. So I mean, you're not gonna get it, because I mean, 1 out of 15 chance. I mean,
well, a few weekends back here, I was getting curious, So I started looking at some of the shelters to see what dogs and stuff they have.
Yeah.
I found one, medium sized, little mixed breed mutt dog, everything, all that kind of stuff. Until I looked at what their adoption fees are.
Yeah.
When the hell did it go up to over $200 a dog?
I've seen them as much as 750.
Yeah, but I'm saying these are like county pounds.
Damn. I mean, a rescue shelter, and they want $750 for it. I may as well just go to a breeder. I mean, I want to save a life. I don't want to I want to get one from the shelter,
Right.
because there's still a lot of high kill shelters even around here. I want to save a life if I get one, and I'll gladly pay up to $200 because you'll have that by the time a lot of them, because if they fix them and give them all the shots and all that, if they already got all that done, then it's gonna cost me at the vet $150. So I may so I would glad if it's all that's already done, I'll be glad to go ahead and pay the $200. But
I remember when I got Sammy here, I was looking online. I just punched in Springer Spaniels and it come up a bunch of kennels. I found her and her other sister and two brothers was listed with her. They had a picture of each one. But when I called there, found out where it was, by the time we got there, she was the only one left. Which really burned me because instead of going to the guy's house, he had us meet him at some park just down south of Harrisburg. And she was in a cage sitting on a picnic table there.
yeah,
And it's like, well, do we get to see the mother or the father or anything? He's like, no. He's, I'm not having anybody in my house. It's like, okay, something's going on here. And, I asked him a couple things here, and I says, is she from any kind of hunting stock? And his answer was, well, she's a Springer Spaniel. I said, well, that doesn't mean a whole lot. I wasn't going to take her. My brother talked me into it. He's like, we just drove 2 hours all the way out here. I said, yeah, well, we're paying $500 for a dog. You don't know if it's actually a hunting dog or not.
Well,
But she turned out to be the best little hunter you could find.
When I got my chocolate lab, I got her from a rescue, from a lab rescue. I paid $275 for her, but she had all of her papers. She was AKC registered. Now, I had in the agreement, I had to sign paperwork that I'd have her fixed, which ended her paperwork. But I was happy to pay $275 for a dog that had all the paperwork and stuff. But for a county pound, for a mixed breed mutt, $200 seems a little bit steep. Where's my tax money going?
Yeah.
I mean, I can remember I bought other dogs from the pound, or got them from the pound. Like $65 or something like that is what I paid.
Yeah. I mean, and that's, the thing about it is a lot of them I've seen them as low as $50, but then you got to go get them all the shots. You got to get them fixed and all that stuff. So, I mean, in other words, most of them is running right around $100, and they've already been fixed and had their shots. So, update on shots. So,
well, every one of the county, because I checked the 3 counties around me, the county I'm in, plus the 3 other closer ones, and every one of them was $200 or more. And I'm like, no,
Well, like I said, I mean, we paid $125 to get Alice's her shots. That was just a vet visit and her shots.
Right.
So in other words, if I can get one under that's already fixed and everything for under 200, I'm looking like we're coming out ahead. So
Fargo is not.
You're not helping me, Daryl. I'm trying to talk myself out of getting another one.
well, Ed, if you, I mean, I even had 2 Chihuahuas I carried with me on the road the last few years. I drove a truck, and if it hadn't have been for them 2 Chihuahuas, I would have never got back in the truck after my accident. So, in other words, I went looking for him one night, and truck was backed up to the side of the house, and I basically already took all my junk out of it. I was just gonna park it, and I sat at the house for 4 or 5 weeks, and the next thing I knew, I couldn't find my dog. I went out there, and there they were sitting on the daggum steps of the truck. I mean, they said, "Daddy, when are we fixing to get there?" They looked at me like, "Daddy, when we fixing? We going back out?" And I mean, they loved that doggone truck, and so riding in that truck. So that was, if it hadn't have been for them, I mean, I drove for another year, and one of the dogs got my brother run over him, and then the then the then my I then some of my mental stuff started coming back around. So I stayed up here at Delisa's house instead of going home, and my one and my other little chihuahua got gone. So and we could never find him. So, but I mean, Delisa had a couple dogs, and they were kind of older. So and when they died out, then we got Alice, and they. But the thing about it is, a lot of these places want vet references. Well, the vet screwed us on Alice, screwed us up at the end. So we've always paid the bill, and all this stuff. They misdiagnosed her, and all this stuff. We found out, and we kept telling them what was different, and we was out there every daggone week, and then they told us they had enough nerve to put in a record that they couldn't deal with us because we were too. We were not mentally or financially able. I spent $3,000 on that dog in a little over a month, but I'm not. But we and they got paid every damn time. But they can't say that we weren't financially able to care for a dog.
Right.
I said, hey Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
But I mean, it just hurt my, that's the thing about it. So in other words, we can't we can't put that daggone vet's name down as a reference that we take care of our dog because of the damn stupid comments they put in the damn record.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I'm damn sure ain't gonna get. They're gonna sure ain't gonna put their phone number down or anything else to check so they can check them. I mean, so at least right here, in this for this county, at least Delisa is friends with the with the with the with the deputy of animal control around here. So she knows how we took care of that dog. She's seen how much she was more of a kid than a dog. And I mean, and so now I mean I told them I put down my YouTube channel on half of the on half the questions they ask about. I said, if you want to see how we treat our dog, here it is. I mean, I got a whole playlist of her how she was treated and how she was going everywhere with us and everything else. And so, but I mean, so that's.
Hey, dude.
But I mean, so I mean, she's told us that for us to be ready 24 hours a day, because if they go out to a daggum location, they go out to a location and they find dogs in bad shape, or something or another. She says she's liable to call us at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and for us to be ready to go out there, because you go to them, because I guess that she's gonna put it in where the dog didn't even, that dog wasn't one of them that win, I guess. So, yeah, or
Well, I don't know
Saturday.
about you guys, but it's starting to get late here.
Well,
For us younger
yeah.
people that can't stay up that long.
Oh, Jeff, come on now, it's Friday night.
Jeff worked hard today.
I gotta be on. I gotta be ready for tomorrow night too, if that happens.
Oh, you got. I mean,
Yeah, we don't know about Saturday nights, but I know Sunday will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as long as he don't get a migraine like he did last week, and almost not have one.
Well, I usually try to take care of that beforehand. So,
Yeah.
but
That's-
I do
that-
have a brake job to do in the morning, so that ain't no big deal.
It's
Sunday morning, that is, not tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to Wally World to get some groceries.
Are you?
Yeah,
I should
No.
do that. I should go over and get me another thing of milk, and then get me. What else is pretty good to eat besides shredded wheat? I'm getting tired of shredded wheat every couple of days.
oh, I don't know. There's a guy that has a channel that does some cooking videos that has all kinds of good stuff
yeah,
to eat.
yeah,
And it's
Must
and
be
it's fair-
somebody I know, maybe, huh?
and
yeah,
and it's fairly easy to cook.
yeah. All right, little Joe. Thanks for coming in.
Yep, take care, Joe.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, Mater. Nice to know you too.
I'll see you, Jeff.
All right, Jeff. Have a good night. Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of wild with the rules and regulations and everything else. I mean, but I guess that's the thing about it. They want a fifth, and these days, these animal rescues, you call them up, you send in an application to these animal rescues, and they want you to send in a non-refundable $15 thing for every application, but you got to have a specific doggone name on it. And so you can't talk to anybody and say, "Hey, I'm just looking for a dog this size, that's going to probably be about so and so size." And
Yep.
and I don't care about the breeds. I mean, it's just going to be a house dog anyway. Mostly, I mean, unless we in a yard, it can't be a house and a yard dog, because I mean, if we out in the yard, then of course it's going to be out there with us. So, I mean, but
Well, when I got my chocolate lab, I was just looking at different,
yeah,
that size dogs.
that's
And when a friend of mine actually seen it and got a hold of me and said, "Hey, look, this is what's going on." Knew the people that had the dog before the rescue got it, everything, and said, "Hey, this rescue's had this dog now for like 3 weeks. They are a black lab rescue. They are not a chocolate lab rescue. They want to get rid of this thing. They don't want it in their, in their sanctuary or whatever you call it
yeah.
anymore." And as soon as I seen a picture of her and a little video of her, I fell in love with her. And but I am much happier with just a mixed breed little mutt dog.
That's what we've always, that's all I've ever had. I mean, yeah, back when I was growing up, you hear about a neighbor having dog having puppies, and you just go pick you one out and say, that one's mine. Whenever it gets done feeding,
Right.
when it's ready, they call you up and you go get the dog. But I mean, but
years ago, I had a buddy that raised Rottweilers and high dollar Rottweilers. I mean, he
Yeah.
got big money. I mean, this is 20 something years ago, or almost 30 years ago, and he had two dogs left. One was the runt male, other was a female, and somebody come and looked at him and really wanted the female. And one night he showed up at my house and had the male, and he said, "Here, have a dog."
Man.
He said, "I can't." He said, "He's half the size of the other puppies. He's not going to be good breeding stock. I won't breed him. I can't. Nobody wants him, because they want, the big, husky, Rottweiler." And I had him for about 3 weeks, and my kids were real young at the time, and you know how puppies chew and bite and play.
Yeah.
Well, he was that, a lot,
Rambunctious, yeah. He was
and they got afraid of him because he was getting bigger and biting harder and playing. So I ended up talking to my buddy and saying, "Hey, look, man, I don't want to take this thing to the pound." He's like, "No problem." He goes, "I'll take him back." That dog turned out to be a beautiful, beautiful dog. And he actually used him for breeding,
hmm I mean,
So,
but like I said, I mean, my granddaddy he raised collies. I mean, he had the Lassie type collies
mhm.
and stuff like that. And I mean, I understand breeders, but then but everything I always had was mixed breed junk. Mixed breed kick around dog, basically what I had.
Yeah.
Old junkyard dogs or whatever you want to call it, however way you want to say it. So I mean, the ones nobody wanted. So, but I mean,
Well,
and the thing about it is, most of your uh, mixed breed dogs will outlive the ones that you paid $1,000 for to go. You go buy for $1,000 or whatever.
I've had less medical issues with my mutt dogs that I've had over the pure breed ones. You know, day and
Yeah.
night difference. And
Yeah.
I had a smooth coated retriever, which is a long haired black lab. And when we got him, he was a stray. Friends of ours found him walking on the street. They already had two dogs. They couldn't have a third one in their apartment. So we said, well, we'll foster him until, you can find the owner or whatever. Well, they never found the owner. Nobody ever, they put signs up and everything. And after about 6 or 7 months of him living with us, my ex-wife went to the pound and was just looking at the puppies with her friend and found this little thing. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
you could put him in your hand like this,
hmm
Brought him home, and I fell in love with that little shit, anyways. But he had zero medical issues. The only medical issue he had was he was allergic to bees, but he loved tulips. He
Yeah.
would he would go out in the wife's flower garden and stick his nose down into the tulips and smell them, and then bite them and pull the leaves off. Well, we found out he was allergic because he stuck his nose down in one that had a bee in it,
Oh gosh.
and it stung him right on the end of the nose. He yipped and run around, and but then about a half an hour later, we noticed he was like laying around a lot, and then started looking at him, and he was having trouble breathing. We took him to the vet. The vet gave him a shot. He was perfectly fine. We just had to watch him when we let him out when the
hmm
flowers were in bloom because, he would go right over the tulips and, you would think he would learn, but no, he didn't. And then the only other thing we had to watch him on is when the dandelions were out. Never had a yellow dandelion headed in my yard. He'd go out there and bite them all off. Yeah, he would you've tasted that white stuff that comes out of the dandelions.
Yeah.
That little shit would go out there, bite one off, and get that look on his face, spit it out, kind of a couple of times, and walk over and do it again.
Yeah. I mean,
He wasn't the brightest bulb in the box.
well, Delisa had a lab and basset hound mix that she had, uh and that dog, everything that they say, they give you that list of stuff that will kill dogs if they eat it and all this stuff.
Mhm.
But that dog would uh that dog would eat everything. She even climbed up on the counter and ate a daggum thing of muzzle cleaner, the poisonous stuff in the world. The gun cleaner's muzzle cleaner, and half a loaf of bread and a bag of Hershey Kisses with the wrapper.
The Hershey Kisses must be something because my black lab did the exact same thing.
And
We accused the because we went out one night. Me and my wife, the kids stayed home with the babysitter. We come home and the Hershey Kisses are gone, and we're like, where did the Hershey Kisses go? We thought the kids ate them, and just we're like, okay, whatever.
yeah,
Next day it was snowing out, and I looked out in the yard. I seen something flashy and walked out, and lo and behold, my dog was crapping out.
he moved it all. But that was that dog. She lived to be over 15 years old. I mean,
Yep.
so in other words, if a lab is their average age is from like 10 to 50. As an average 10 to 12 or something or other, and a basset's about the same thing. Well, this here lived to 15, so in other words, lived over 15. So she was, and she her Delisa's daddy smoked, and he would sit down there in the shop. She'd go down there with him. He had a little garage down there that he worked on his lawnmowers and everything else with. And he went down, and she'd go down there and he'd literally have to give her his cigarette butts. She'd sit there and eat all the damn cigarette butts that he had, and then she'd turn around and start whining at him because she knew he always had a pocket full of cough drops, and she made him give him a cough afterwards. Two cough drops to make her happy. He said, all that nicotine, now you got to take cough drops to clean your system. And
Well, my black lab would eat anything I ate,
yeah,
everything. And if I didn't give him a taste, he would sit there and pout. You know, my chocolate lab, same thing. She would eat anything I would eat except for celery, and I could not get in the shell peanuts and eat them in peace with my chocolate lab.
she had
Not
to crunch them, man.
she had to have them. We were camping one night or one weekend. We were actually out there like a week, and I bought like a 5 pound bag of the fresh roasted in the shell peanuts, and I'd go out and sit by the fire, midday or lunchtime or whatever, and sit there and I'd shell like 2 or 3 for me and shell one or two for her. And this went on for like 2 days. And finally, like third day, I'm sitting there. I'm like, you know what? You're being lazy here. And I just tossed her one. I figured, she just, she just crunch it up and eat it. That dog actually shelled them peanuts. She would pick it up, or she'd catch it, if I toss it to her.
Yeah.
She would crunch on it a couple times, spit it out on the ground, look at it, pick it back up until she cracked it open enough that the nuts fell out, pick the nuts up and eat them and leave the shell lay there.
I'm a doggone.
I would have swore she would just chew the whole thing up and swallow it.
Yeah.
And I sat there for probably a good hour, me and her, eating peanuts, and my ex come out and she's like, what are you guys doing? I said, we're eating peanuts. She's like, you shelling peanuts for that damn dog again? I'm like, no, watch. Showed her. She didn't believe it. A couple of days later, my mom and dad stopped by to have dinner with us and everything. Showed my parents. They didn't believe it. We come home. I'd sit out on the back patio, get like a pound or two of them. I'd sit on the back patio. She'd be sitting right there. And, I said, now if I can just get you to clean them up, I throw mine into a trash can. Hers are all over the ground. So
Hey, Andrew.
So I'd have to clean up after she'd shell her own peanuts, but but she wouldn't. If I was eating like jarred peanuts, you know,
Mhm.
she might eat one or two. She wouldn't. You know, she wanted the in the shell peanuts.
Well, this house, this trailer that we living in, Lisa, this was before me, so, but the walls are chewed all up in this house, in certain spots in this house, where her dog had separation anxiety from her.
hmm
So she would, she would go to, she would actually try to eat her way out of the daggum house, try to tear her way out, make her way out of the house. So Lisa said one day she come home and raised Cain at her, told her if you're gonna make the damn mess, you better clean it up. She said she come home the next day and the hole was a lot bigger, but she'd eat the insulation, the damn drywall, and everything.
A friend of mine, well, the guy that had the Rottweilers, he had two that he'd keep in the house because he was an over the road truck driver.
Yeah.
And when he first went back to truck driving, his wife, at night, would lock him in the bedroom with her, and then when she left, the mail that they had in the house actually chewed through the door to get into the bedroom.
Oh wow.
So he had to put a new door up, but then had to put stuff over it. He come home, from being gone like a week and a half, and he went back. He's like, "Where's the bedroom door at?" She's like, "I had to take it off the hinges." He's like, "Why?" He said, "Because that son of a bitch would get a run from the end of the hallway, since he couldn't chew or claw or chew through it. He'd get a run from the end of the hallway and slam into it."
Yeah.
She said
Well.
he was breaking the frame, so she had to take the door off the hinges.
Well, this same dog that I was talking about. One night, I had like 72 hours. I hadn't slept. I mean, I had PTSD awful. This was when we had the house in South Carolina, so we went down there, and I got a friend of mine. He went and got some of them. I asked him. I said, "I've been reading a lot on on them their left-handed cigarettes. So, do you know who's got any around here?" He said, "Yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes." And he come back, and first off, Delisa tried to roll it, and it looked like a damn cigar. I called it a Cheech and Chong deal. I mean, but anyway, I said I started after we got it rolled up. I went out on the front porch, sat there and smoked it, and Delisa, we left the dog in the house. Well, the next thing I knew, I had the storm door. We were sitting out on the porch, talking, and
No, the
and
heat came on. And
the heat came on when as she was rolling it up. The heat of the air conditioner won, but anyway, it had sucked in the air, just the smell of without burn or anything. It had gotten the ventilation system of the house, and that dog was laying on the vent, and she was sitting there sniffing it the whole daggone time. Well, when we walked out there on the porch, and I was sitting there trying to. I smoked the first one I ever smoked in my damn life. I mean, I was 45 years old, and the first daggone one I ever smoked. And anyway, she that next thing I know, we're sitting there talking, and she takes her head and runs out there, and she rams that doggone storm door so hard it knocked the whole brace off of it, and lock and brace off of it. But she come out there and she sat down at my feet, and I had to blow the secondary hand smoke in her face to make her happy. I mean, we went inside. She was laying on the floor, donk, 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 donk. That big old tail just popping the floor, and I went. Since I wasn't used to it, I went in there and puked my guts out. And Delisa coming over to me saying, "You getting high? You feel anything yet? You feel anything yet? You feel anything?" And she's trying to freak me out, I think. But I mean, she hadn't ever smoked any either, and she didn't even smoke none that night, so she was just but I finally after I went in there and puked, and I went back there and I laid down on the bed, and she said I didn't move for 12 damn hours.
That scared me.
I'm-
I didn't have any knowledge of
I
it.
mean, she come in there and poked me, and I still wouldn't even move or anything. I had all my clothes on, I had everything. I just fell across the bed,
I stayed
and-
awake all night
and-
kept poking you to see if you got
and
home.
see, and she said you ain't moved. You didn't move for 12 hours. Well, you still laying on your stomach right in the bed. She said I had to keep coming checking on you to make sure that you were still breathing in here.
You didn't have any life insurance. I had to make sure you was okay.
That was before we'd actually got married, and she didn't have no life insurance on me, so she was making sure I still lived.
Had to get more killing.
So
Well, in high school, a buddy of mine, he used to smoke it, and he made the mistake of taking it in the house one night, and he couldn't figure out why the cat would not leave him alone and would not leave his bedroom. Yeah, he learned real quick that the cat had a catnip addiction,
uh-oh.
and yeah, he because they had never given the cat. I mean, they got it as a stray, but they'd
Yeah.
never given the cat any. And he's like, all of a sudden, this cat's like my best friend, and before it would never. He's like, okay, what the hell's going on? And he figured it out. What's going on? The cat could smell it, and he's like, yeah, we can't be taking this into the house no more.
Yeah. But I mean, it was the funniest thing. I wish we'd had that on video, but I mean, I still couldn't have posted it because it was in,
Right.
we was in South Carolina, it wasn't even a legal state at the time. So, but I mean, but that PTSD is a real pain in the butt. Whenever it flares, it flares. I mean,
Yep.
She was your buddy the whole way through.
but she was the next morning. She was jumping up and down. She was like a brand new puppy out there. I mean, she's 13, 14 years old. She's jumping up and down like she's a brand new puppy, and all this stuff, wanting to know when I was gonna light up another one. So I went on. I took it. I said, well, we was gonna make fun of it. So, this was back when Tipsy and Trippy was doing all their stuff. So I went out there on the porch and I raked up some leaves and poured it up on a newspaper, and I rolled that up, and I had one about this wide, this big around at the
I got
end,
pictures of it.
and
Yeah.
I wrote
I-
every single dose on it.
and I had it like I was smoking it, and I held it up in the air, and I had one of them daggum welder caps on my head and all this stuff. Looked like I was out there smoking it. I said, here. So I sent it to them a picture of it. And I said, here, y'all reckon y'all can handle me tonight? and all them daggum potheads from over there, they were. Well, what did you really have in that doggone mute? I mean, what we had was I had a roll of whenever they do newspapers, that roll can only get down so small. So they give you the daggum roll, the runoff ends of the newspaper.
Right.
So I mean, we had 2 or 3 rolls sitting around. So I rolled me up a bunch of leaves in it, and I had it just flaming out the end of it and all that stuff. And they just laughing their head off at everybody. I guess that's what I need to do again. Start acting the fool again. I guess because I looked at my video editor thing the other night, and they said it hadn't been updated in so long that I had to re-update it. So, I mean, I sit here half the night getting it updated. I mean, because I use Filmora, and
Mhm.
but I don't know whether you can buy it and do it now or not. But it was like $39 for, and you got a lifetime subscription to it. So
Yeah.
there's every time they update it. So, but it's so in other words, now I got to go through and learn how to redo that stuff to edit anything. So since it's been so long since I put up anything, so
Well, years ago, I used to smoke a little bit. You know, years and years ago. Um, when I first got with my ex-wife, her and her neighbor, they smoked, but they couldn't roll. Her neighbor's husband used to roll for him. Well,
yeah,
he was out of town or whatever, and I worked afternoons, and I come home, and I mean, they had such a mess going on, and I'm like, do you want me to, you know, try to do it for you a little bit, and they're like, well, yeah, do you think you could? I'm like, oh, I can give it a try. Probably do better than what you're doing. I'm like, whew, like that. And they're like, you've done this before. I'm like, maybe. And and the rest of the evening was like, do it again, do it again, do it again. And they weren't even smoking. It's like, do it again. I'm like, okay, here, take these son of a bitches, get them away from me, because
yeah,
I had quit smoking before I met her, and they're like, you want one? I'm like, no, I don't do anything for me anymore. I don't, here, you all can, this ought to keep you happy for a few days.
yeah.
So
But I mean, I wasn't. But I mean, I didn't really. I only I only that was that was the only time I've ever smoked it. So it just like I said, it knocked me out for 12 damn hours, and so it was what I needed at that time. So
mhm.
I mean,
Well, I mean, I have no problem with it. I mean, I think it should be 100% legalized, and
yeah,
there's a lot of people that need it and can use it, but the stigma with it and everything else, they won't. And like I said,
yeah.
I have no desire to smoke it anymore. But I mean, anybody that needs it, they should be able to have it. I mean, it's
Well, I mean,
I think it's less invasive, less harmful than alcohol.
yeah, I do too.
You know,
But I mean, if it would, I mean, say if y'all found out that it would help your daughter be able to eat more. I
Mhm.
mean, then would you not encourage her to try to do it? I mean,
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it. I seen my daddy die of cancer and all that stuff. So I mean, if it helps people with cancer and where they can eat and all that stuff after them treatments and
yep.
stuff like that. I mean, I don't see one reason why in the world not to, other
Well,
than the daggum pharmaceutical companies want you to take that them daggum chemical up things that they got that ain't doing but killing you to start with.
the first time my mom had a spot on on one of her breasts and had chemotherapy and stuff, we teased the hell out of her. Ma, you need us to go get you some, a little bit of, no, 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 no. It'll make you feel better and everything. Your the sickness and stuff afterwards. Look it up, and and she actually, she looked it up to see what we were talking about, and no, 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 like we can hook you up, Ma. We know some people.
Yeah,
No, no, but yeah, I've got one really good friend. We've been friends since we've been in our teens, and she had a blood clot in one of her lungs, between the size of a golf ball and baseball size.
yeah,
That it's a fairly sizable one. Um, all the meds that they gave her for pain after after she had the surgery and stuff, Um, the the most or the smallest dose that they could give that they can prescribe made her a vegetable.
Yeah.
If she took enough to make the pain actually go away, she was out, for like 10 hours and then wake up in pain and have to take it again and be out for, another thing. Her doctor actually started her on CBD stuff and it helped. She got her card. She gets the medical stuff. She doesn't buy illegal stuff.
Yeah.
And she can smoke just, like a one hitter or whatever and be pain free for 5-6 hours and be able to deal with her life. And, she doesn't even get high,
No.
high,
Yeah.
and so I am 100% for it,
Yeah. Yeah. Lisa Ann, I mean, that was the, I mean, I always saying is we wouldn't. I mean, it used to if I walked past 20 feet, 20 or 30 feet from somebody smoking that stuff, I could smell it,
All
and
right.
it would actually make my stomach turn upside down.
Yeah.
But,
And Lisa's right. The stuff that they sell nowadays,
yeah,
it smells like, I mean, back when I was young and buying it, we called it skunk weed. And I'm
yeah,
like, I wouldn't,
yeah.
you know. Hi, Sam. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Sam. But yeah, but I mean, that's the thing about it is that one particular time. I mean, I was like a zombie. I mean, Lisa can tell you, I was walking around. I was staggering when I was up because I hadn't slept in so long that uh uh
You need
uh.
to sleep 4 days.
I mean, it was, and so I had to do something, get some release somewhere, and like I said, I was in South Carolina, so all my doctors and everything else was up here. So and I didn't want that more of that daggum psychiatric medicine because that shit was making me feel so daggum weird. I mean, they had me like like I would all I wanted to do was be a zombie, and so I mean, so I'd done some research, and everywhere I looked, they was talking about it, and so I mean, I said, what can it hurt? I mean, $20, I'd spend $20 on a damn coat and a damn something else at the damn store. I said, so I handed my buddy a $20 bill, and he went and got me some, and um, but
Well, my friend keeps telling me that, I need to try it for like my shoulder pain and my arthritis and stuff like that. And I'm like, I can't. My work does not recognize it. If I would get hurt at work and it would be in my system, you know,
yeah,
they don't, well, they have to. I'm like, no, they don't, you know,
yeah,
they don't have to recognize it. I can't go get my medical marijuana card and, be okay if something happens at work, even if hadn't done it at work, if it's in my system, traces of it, they can come back on it. So
yeah. I mean, that's what it was. It was the guy. But I got that CDL in my pocket, so I actually couldn't be
right.
uh wouldn't be uh
You wouldn't be able to have your CDL and the
I wouldn't
card.
have
Yeah.
I couldn't have it because of my CDL, and if I and back when I was driving, so I mean I had so but if I got in a wreck or something other and I had some of that junk in my blood, then then I then then I'd never be able to drive again. So I mean, so that was So I stayed away from anything like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if the doctor prescribed me medicine, I'd call the company up and make sure it would pass the drug screen if it was okay for the drug when if I had to take a drug screen before I'd even take the daggone medicine the doctor prescribed. So, but I mean, yeah, that's
Yeah.
that. But I mean, and so when I was 45, I'd done sold the truck off anyway. So I my CDL, I wasn't leased to anybody. I was owner operator, and I just sold the truck and went through bankruptcy and all that stuff. And that was a lot of why I couldn't sleep, worrying about that stuff. And so they turn around and give it, so I said, well, what is it going to hurt? Now, I'm not driving a truck. I mean, so I tried it that one night. I got what I needed, and I never looked back at it. I mean,
Yep.
I mean, now we can grow up the full plant. We can have full plant. We can grow our own, up here in Virginia, we can grow up to full plants at a time. So, I mean, but I just never really cared for it again. I mean, we babysat some plants for our neighbor down the road here. I mean, but he's 75 years old, so he's an old hippie from the big days. So I mean, just let him let them do their deal. So
Yep.
I mean, but that's.
I would not even stay on the phone like I
Yeah, like I said, I have no problem. I mean, I know the medical benefits of it and everything, and
I know that.
What joy some people get out of it and stuff like that. So, I mean, smoke it up. I'd rather see somebody smoking it up than drinking it up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's no. That is no worse than when you're making a living driving a truck. It's no different than some idiot at 4 o'clock in the morning leaving a bar and knowing and you following him down the road and he can't keep the car on the road. So
right. I'd rather see somebody sitting in their house toking up than sitting at the bar getting drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
Because chances are, if you're sitting at home toking it up, you ain't gonna be out driving. That, like you said, that idiot at the bar is gonna leave and possibly hurt somebody.
Yeah. Well, I guess we've got almost 2 hours in now, so
yeah.
I've got the.
Oh, I did too.
And Delisa's got a phone call, so I think I'm gonna just I'm gonna end it here. And all right, and I appreciate everybody coming in, and I will coming in and all that stuff. Remember, Ed's stream is Sunday night, possibly Twin V will be tomorrow night.
Yep.
And all that good stuff. And Mater will be on Monday night, so it'll be but I know Ed's going to be at 7 o'clock Sunday night. So
yep.
Good night, everybody. And we will see y'all next week.
Yep, we'll see y'all. Thanks.
Yeah, I gotta get one too. But all right then. Well,
Good night,
I'll
everybody.
in the morning.